This week, Alistair sheds light on the tech behind these dazzling 3D displays.
Something's hands just come out at me.
Yeah, it's like a possessed Hulk.
Lara's been checking out the latest health gadgets, including those fending off the calories and those fighting off hair loss.
You've had great hair and you're going to tell me you were bald before.
And Paul heads to the racetrack to see the high-speed cars that don't have human drivers.
Hey, welcome back to Las Vegas. This is one of the most famous skylines in the world. And one thing about this site is it's constantly changing. See, whenever they get fed up with a hotel, they just gut it and turn it into something that looks completely different.
But in the last year, something really unusual has lit up the horizon, literally. It's that thing over there.
Yeah, it's called the Sphere, and it is a monster. Inside, it's an entertainment venue. Outside, it's the world's largest video screen, covered in 1.2 million LEDs, and it's become an instant landmark and a huge talking point since it opened last year.
In a few moments, we'll find out what it's like to live in a city that's dominated by this giant glowing ball. But first, Alistair Keane's been taking a look at how graphics are bringing it to life.
Our senses are constantly being bombarded by the sights and sounds around us, including advertisements that have been carefully crafted to grab our attention. But in a busy world, do we always notice?
Everyone is looking at their phone. What we are trying to do here is to convince people to stop looking at their phones and record what they have in front of them.
BCN Visuals are based in Barcelona, creating 3D displays all around the globe. And now they have a new canvas to work on, and it isn't without its challenges.
What we did is think about round things, round shapes, so we can place him there, and it would look like we have done something specifically for this. When it comes to the storyboards, it was quite challenging. Instead of doing the pre-production on this round sphere, we made it look it was flat, so it could be easier for us to think about the ideas. And wrapping the content around the sphere wasn't enough. We need to make it look like there was like the sphere that would open up as if it was a gate, and it would show you everything it's got in the inside.
The company made its name over the past few years with campaigns in New York's Times Square and other major locations around the world. They specialise in a technique which creates the optical illusion of 3 dimensions, but now that's taken to the next level.
I mean, it's huge. People can't miss it.
It's huge.
You have to get what's on the screen right as well.
Yes, it's huge. Every little detail, it's a 3 meters detail. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, there was like a kind of mistake, let's hide it with this, or let's add a layer. You cannot do that. Everything needs to be perfect, and it needs to be seen from all angles, even from a plane.
This is a lucrative ad space, which can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars a day for companies to take over. To achieve their complicated design process, BCN Visuals brought in talented 3D animators from Hollywood to help bring the characters to life. Stephanie Katratos has previously worked on movies such as Shrek and Ants.
How much of it is in tricks in the animation and what you can do with technology, and how much is it just, you know, standing with the lights hitting the screen a certain way?
We have a bag of tricks we use. Yeah. It's an illusion. And we are illusionists. Like that's really that's our magic. That's what we do. We've worked on these screens multiple times. We really understand the screen and the point of view and what's going to work the best for that screen. So we try to find that few moments where we can break the fourth wall. We use a lot of different techniques depending on what the brand needs. So we'll layer effects over that. Also 3D characters on top of that. It's about building up a world, and we use everything. Effects, lighting, animation, compositing, editing, all of that to enhance the image.
Yeah, you want people on the street to have a sort of wow feeling or some sort of emotion through what they see.
Surprise, connection, just an amazement. You know, wow, how did that happen? I don't have a pair of 3D glasses on.
With their displays so big and hard to hide, the team don't get rehearsals. So to help make sure the illusions work, they use virtual reality to experience and test their creation.
One of the big problems we've had is when we are about to deliver the campaign, we have to test it. The clients want to see it, our team wants to see it, and of course watching it on a flat screen is not the same. So we decided to replicate the areas we're doing, for example, Times Square, every detail as possible, so then the clients and our team can experience exactly what they will see, like a live testing.
Yeah, and I can have a shot of it as well.
Yes, of course. Go for it.
Oh wow, so I'm in Times Square now.
Yeah, that's right. And now you should be seeing the avatar campaign.
So now, yeah, the video's happening.
So this happened in 13
Oh wow, so they've
markets.
just jumped out the water
Yeah, that's right.
and the water's gone everywhere. Something's hands just come out at me.
Yeah, it's like a possessed Hulk.
Ooh, that was cool.
When I'm meeting with some advertising agencies, people spend most of the time trying to come up with a good slogan. In our case, I always tell them there's no much time to spend on thinking about the good slogan, because first you've got to grab people's attention. The story is even more important in a 2 hours long movie. Selling a shareable moment that people want to record and want to share with their friends, but also on social media.
And that is the secret as to why companies are willing to pay so much for this ad space. Not the people who will see it actually in Vegas, but on videos shared all around the globe.
The Sphere looks pretty cool inside, but it's the exterior that's really caught people's attention. Powered by over 1 billion LEDs, it's attracted massive amounts of hype, like this enormous eyeball or the lunar surface. It really is impressive in person.
So, what next for the Sphere? Well, if you'd asked me that a few weeks ago, I would have said London. But there's been a bit of a problem.
This car park is the site of what the owners of Sphere, Madison Square Garden or MSG, wanted to put the next Sphere. It's in Stratford in East London, and it's an area that's seen huge amounts of investment since the Olympics was held here in 2012.
The problem is that Stratford definitely isn't Las Vegas, and it's caused quite a stir here, mainly because the site is really close to where people actually live. So where is it? Should we try and peer over?
It's hard to actually even find a place to look at the location from the ground, as the mayor of Newham and I found out.
You can peer through here.
Oh yeah.
You can see the site through there. And it's really, really, really constrained. You've got Chobham, then you've got a major housing development there, you've got housing development there, and obviously you've got shoppers there. And then you'll have this big, huge globe.
It would just be this entire bit of land.
Jaren Somnes is a resident whose apartment block would have looked directly over the site.
Can you imagine, you're sat here, I'm just like working from home, or I'm just chilling, and there's just an eyeball like rolling around, looking around. Like, it sounds like a nightmare. So anytime I don't want to see that, I should close block every single window to not be seeing that. It's not a good solution.
It's particularly problematic because Jaren collects plants. Having your blinds closed all day isn't exactly ideal for that hobby.
What MSG say is that, yeah, Stratford is different to Las Vegas, but that's reflected in what they want to do here, and that the screens that would be built over there would be turned off late at night and early in the morning.
As you may have noticed, I'm talking in the past tense about this application, because earlier this month, MSG pulled out of London after the Mayor of London rejected the application because of light pollution. That's great news for Jaren and her plants, But is it good for London? MSG didn't want to be interviewed for this piece, but it did say that Londoners should be dismayed that they're not going to benefit from this groundbreaking project, and others looking to invest in London should certainly be wary. We will focus on the many forward-thinking cities.
Las Vegas's Visitors Authority, though, seem more than happy with the Sphere and are kind of excited that it's just in Las Vegas for now.
From Vegas's perspective, when you look at the skyline, when you look at the Strip, it fits in perfectly. It has created a lot of extra excitement. You know, anytime you can debut a new offering in the destination, it helps keep Vegas top of mind. It gives our visitors a new reason to return. And so, selfishly speaking, it's fantastic that it's here and only here, giving us the opportunity to delight our visitors when they come here.
The Sphere almost feels like a homage to light, and it really is impressive. And Las Vegas feels like the perfect place for it too. But the problem Sphere has is Las Vegas is so atypical as a city. It's basically a city of light anyway, and it's glamorous and glitzy. People want this kind of thing here. But Sphere's problem is that most cities just aren't Las Vegas, and it's going to have to find a way to operate these spheres in major areas where people actually live. And that is a bit of a conundrum for Sphere.